going to be really tough.
This afternoon, what food pantry volunteers are saying about their work ahead of the end of SNAP benefits tomorrow. Plus, a woman who killed her mother in Blue Mounds earlier this year will spend her life in a mental health facility. Hear her devastating statement. This is News 3 Now at noon. Thanks for joining us on a Friday afternoon. I'm Josh Breiter. It is also Halloween, which means many families will be heading to their neighborhoods and communities for trick-or-treating later today. We're keeping you updated with our first warn forecast. Here's Chief Meteorologist Alex Harrington. Happy Halloween, Alex.
Happy Halloween to you as well. And there's the Halloween forecast that just popped up here into the monitor. It was hanging out behind one of those gravestones. But here, as we track through this afternoon going into this evening, we'll be around 50 to start off trick-or-treating. Cloudy skies, feeling a bit on the chilly side as we head towards 6 o'clock at 47. And then as we head towards 8 o'clock towards the end of trick-or-treating, we'll be at about 43 degrees. So just a tiny, tiny chance of a shower. Let's take a look at radar 3000 right now to see if we see any showers out there. Nothing out there, at least as of 12 o'clock here on a Friday, Halloween in the afternoon, but that is going to change as we track through this afternoon. 2:30 in the afternoon, maybe an isolated shower or two here. Mineral Point possibly seeing a shower around 6, 7, 8 o'clock. But notice how a lot of areas are going to stay dry with this bout of showers. Coming up in just a little bit, I'll be back to let you know if we have more rain in the forecast and the reason why we desperately could use the rain. I'm going to show you the very latest drought monitor update.
All right, Alex, we'll see you then. Thank you. We now know the name of the person pulled from Delavan Lake this week. Police say 76-year-old Mary Lawrence Ovitz of Delavan died of natural causes. That happened before she ended up in the water. Crews pulled her from the lake just after 5 Monday night near South Shore Drive. Police say no foul play is suspected and there's no concern for public safety. A woman who killed her mother in Blue Mounds earlier this year will go to a mental health facility for the rest of her life. A judge made that decision in the case of 31-year-old Sierra Schoonover yesterday. In April, Schoonover killed her mother, Heather Schoonover. Court documents suggest Schoonover was off her medicine at the time and had believed people in her life were replaced and not real. Ultimately, the prosecution and judge agreed with the defense that while Schoonover killed her mother, she wasn't mentally competent enough at the time to understand what she was doing. In court, we heard from Schoonover, who was asked to make a statement about her mother.
And when my dad was fighting cancer for 4 years, I watched my mom overcome any discomfort she had with providing medical care to be able to help him up until the end of his life. I know there are so many people who love and miss her, and I'm so sorry that any of this happened.
In time, Schoonover will be able to petition for conditional release, but it would require the approval of a judge. Continuing coverage now of the federal government shutdown's impact, the Trump administration so far has said it will not release emergency funds for federal food assistance. That means more than 42 million Americans, or 1 in 8 people, will go without the benefits that feed them for 1 month. Right now, the administration has access to roughly $5 billion in contingency funds to keep SNAP benefits going.
There are funds that are available to continue funding SNAP benefits, billions of dollars that can be used. And never before during government shutdown has the federal government discontinued SNAP funding.
Governors and attorneys generals across the country are calling on the government to release those funds. More than 24 states, including Wisconsin, filed that lawsuit to do so. A judge heard that argument in the Trump administration's yesterday. We're still waiting for that decision to come down. We're taking a look at how this will affect Wisconsin, where the program is known as Food Share. 700,000 people in our state rely on federal food assistance. That includes 64,000 people right here in Dane County and 23,000 people in Rock County. The burden to feed people will now fall on food pantries. The extra demand is already painful for volunteers.
People like going through a food pantry line normally are pretty stressed out usually, but to see the amount of stress that is on people's faces now, not knowing what's going on in the future, because they rely so heavily on Food Share to get the food that their family needs, it's going to be really tough.
In the last few days, the St. Vincent de Paul Pantry has seen a 40 to 50% increase in people coming to the pantry in need. In Madison, we're already seeing several local restaurants offering free or discounted meals to people who are about to lose their benefits. But in rural areas, there aren't as many options. Edgerton Community Outreach says pantries in those areas are already having a hard time meeting people's needs. Luckily, right now, that pantry is doing okay, but they will likely need more donations as demand increases starting tomorrow.
So we have freezers, and unfortunately, our freezers are kind of empty. So we're just asking, anything someone wants to donate.
The best items to donate are non-perishable foods, bulk items, and things that can be frozen for long periods of time. The shutdown isn't just impacting SNAP. More than 7,000 flights were delayed Thursday in part due to staffing issues that stem from air traffic controllers not getting paid. Christian Benedictez has that story.
As this shutdown continues, you're going to see more pressure on controllers, more pressure on TSA workers, and that's going to have real impact.
That impact hitting several major airports Thursday as FAA facilities across the country experienced staffing issues, including here in Orlando. The FAA says a shortage in controllers almost led them to shut down their runways, but an hour later, they were able to secure enough staff. Flyers faced delays up to 4 hours.
It's not just affecting those employees, it's affecting us too, and it's a huge chain reaction.
It comes as around 13,000 air traffic controllers missed their first full paycheck on Tuesday, and they could miss at least 2 more by Thanksgiving if the stalemate continues.
I worry about the air traffic controllers who, of course, make this entire system extra safe. I worry about them, more worried about their credit card bill than they should be because they're not getting a paycheck.
You support air traffic controllers?
And with more controllers calling out sick and the holidays right around the corner, Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy had this stark warning Thursday.
Our traffic will be snarled, right? It'll be a disaster in aviation.
Several major airlines have called for Congress to reopen the government. Some of them have started providing food assistance and other support to federal aviation employees who are currently working without pay. Christian Benavides, CBS News, Orlando.
You can stay updated with the latest on the government shutdown's impacts right here on News 3 Now. To receive those updates directly to your phone, just download the free Channel 3000 mobile app. Well, it's Halloween, as we mentioned earlier. Let's take a look at where kids can do some trick-or-treating tonight. Hours across our viewing area differ a little bit. In Middleton, trick-or-treating runs from 5 to 7. In Monona, it's 5 to 8. Verona is 5 to 8. And Waunakee is 5 to 7. You can find a full list of trick-or-treat and trunk-or-treat times throughout southern Wisconsin on channel3000.com. Coming up next on News 3 Now at noon, how businesses around the country are feeling the pinch due to a penny shortage. Plus, the recall alert on some peaches and why you shouldn't eat them.
You're watching News 3 Now at noon. Moving forward.
Light Companies has issued a nationwide recall for its white and yellow peaches, some sold under the Kroger brand because they could be contaminated with listeria. The potentially deadly bacteria was discovered at a packing facility. No illnesses have been reported so far. The affected peaches were sold between September 16th and October 29th of this year. The recall does not affect products with the words Washington or organic on the label. Businesses around the country are feeling the pinch due to a penny shortage. Retailers Giant Eagle and Sheetz are holding promotions to convince customers to bring in their pennies in exchange for gift cards or drinks. The Trump administration directed the U.S. Mint to stop making pennies earlier this year because it costs 3.7 cents to make the 1 cent coin, according to the agency. But those celebrating Halloween today can keep some of their pennies, with major food chains offering some scary good savings. Customers in costume can get a free original glazed or classic ring donut at Krispy Kreme. Chipotle is bringing back its $6 burrito for costume customers who visit a participating location after 3 p.m. And Shake Shack has buy one, get one free double Shack burgers with the digital code SPOOKY. That's your CBS News Money Watch report. For more, log on to cbsmoneywatch.com. At the CBS Broadcast Center, I'm Jesse Mitchell.
Well, let's take a look at the stock report at the noon hour right now. Dow is down 93 points. NASDAQ is up 94, and the S&P 500 barely changed, down 0.4 points. Sorry about that. Our call for action volunteers are in the building taking your consumer complaints and taking action on your behalf. Call for action at 608-270-2833 or submit a claim anytime at channel3000.com/call for action. Pam has today's farm numbers up next, and Alex is tracking the first warn forecast. And later on Live at 4, we'll show you some fun activities around the 608 for you and your family to celebrate Halloween. Welcome back. Let's check in now with Pam Yankee for the Midwest Farm Report. Happy Halloween, Farm Babe.
Same to you, Joshy. The only thing I've got today is the markets. We'll get to that in just a little bit. Today, we're focused in on a brand new coalition that's been formed involving some Wisconsin farmers. While they're continuing to be patient, trying to see what's going to happen in Washington, D.C., they want to continue to draw attention to the dire need that agriculture has for reliable labor. One of the people that's involved in the new Grow It Here national advocacy campaign, John Rosenau, he's a dairy farmer from Cochrane Fountain City in western Wisconsin. He's got 18 employees on his dairy farm, 15 of which are foreign-born, and he says dairy is not covered under current policy developments.
Because dairy is specifically excluded from having H-2A employees. And so we rely on immigrants. And right now in Wisconsin, about 90% of the milk that's harvested every day from the cows that are here in the dairy, Wisconsin, or in America's dairy land, is harvested by immigrants. Without these immigrants, we would struggle. Well, we wouldn't exist, basically, and we wouldn't want to exist either.
John Rosenau, again, a dairy farmer from Cochrane Fountain City. He's not the only Wisconsin farmer. We've also got another organic producer in Ripon that's involved in the Grow It Here campaign to keep pounding the drum on agriculture labor needs all across the United States. Well, they came from all across the United States this week for the 78th annual National FFA Convention that wraps up tomorrow morning in Indianapolis, Indiana. Cheryl Zimmerman, executive director of the Wisconsin FFA, says that they have inked a deal to keep the FFA going back to Indianapolis through 2040. Now, we've got some outstanding honorees that were recognized this year with the American FFA degree, and we also have some winners that are coming back with national accolades for their areas of expertise. That includes Owen Hemling from Beaver Dam in the Agri-Science Fair, Josie Roberts from Portage Prepared Public Speaking, Hannah Olson Adams Friendship in Beef Production Placement, and Marshall Kleiman from Granton in the Dairy Production Entrepreneurship area. We also saw that the American FFA honorary degree was presented this week to Tom Bressner from Wisconsin Agribusiness Association, Randy Romansky, our Wisconsin Ag Secretary, and several others. So congratulations, and we'll look forward to the trip to Indianapolis for the foreseeable future. I mentioned at the outset that the markets are a little scary today. Corn and soybeans are hanging on, but to be honest, I think that the question mark on what's going to happen with the SNAP benefits in Wisconsin food share has got the dairy industry just a little rattled. Remember, a lot of the SNAP benefits and food share benefits would be spent or used directly on dairy inputs. So that's something that the markets are trying to deal with, minus any federal information from agencies. Today, barrel cheese dropped another penny and a half to 1.80 1/2. 40-pound block cheese was down 5 3/4 cents at 1.76 3/4. Double A butter, though, did gain 3 3/4 cents, 1.61 a pound. So like I said, Josh, the only scary thing I bring you on a Halloween Friday, the markets.
Oh my gosh. Well, we're handing out full-size candy bars at my house tonight. So if you need a little pick-me-up, I'll send you my address, Pam.
I was just going to say, give me that.
I'll do
that.
that.
Much anymore. Very good on you.
Yes, I'm trying. I had that growing up, and those were always the homes I remember. It's where we're trying our best. All right, Pam. Happy Halloween. Have a great weekend.
Go Pack.
There you go. Time now for your certified most accurate forecast with first warn meteorologist Alex Harrington. We've got the chief in today with that Halloween forecast. And how's it looking, Alex?
You sure do. You have me today for the certified most accurate Halloween forecast. At that, we'll be at 50 right around 4 o'clock, how about 47 or so as we get towards 6 o'clock. A tiny, tiny chance of a shower as we head towards that 8 p.m. gravestone in our spooky Halloween forecast for tonight. So all in all, a pretty good forecast for all of southern Wisconsin. And then we got a little bit of rain. Like I said, we got to track some of those isolated showers. We'll see if the ghosts will let my graphics move. There we go. Nothing out there right now on radar 3000 from west to east across southern Wisconsin, but that will change as we go into this afternoon. Some spotty showers. And take note here as I move us from 3 o'clock in the afternoon as we head up towards about 7, 8 o'clock, maybe an isolated shower. Really just about anywhere. We all stand the chance of getting wet. but there will be some folks that don't get anything at all with these few showers. We also can't rule out here, now don't get too excited about this. If you take note over parts of East Iowa here, just west of Prairie du Chien, a little bit of pink. Tiny little bit of pink as we head towards 6 o'clock Saturday morning. We can't rule out a wet snowflake or two, but we're not expecting any accumulation or anything like that. And we have had some Halloweens in the past where we have had significant snow. Not expecting that. Just a couple of isolated showers to carry us into Saturday and a gray day at that. Here's what I was mentioning in First Weather earlier in the newscast. I said there's a reason why we really need to talk about the rain here, and that's our drought monitor. We've seen an expansion of abnormally dry conditions, but we've really seen an expansion here in the moderate drought conditions. That includes Platteville, Mineral Point, up towards Dodgeville, Monroe, just east of Darlington. Now we're seeing severe drought conditions building into southern Wisconsin, and with an extended forecast that is largely dry. We are very likely going to see these drought conditions expand even further across southern Wisconsin, which is not good news. We do have some shower chances coming in Sunday night, but it's going to be a quick moving weather system. Join me during the 4 o'clock newscast. We'll track those showers as well on Sunday so you can get an idea of when to expect those showers. Planning our night tonight, Halloween, the festivities, again, just a shower or two. Temperatures will be around 50, and then they'll dip down into the lower 40s by the end of the trick-or-treat time period. But when you wake up Saturday morning, 35 in Madison, 37 in the Wisconsin River Valley, 38 in Monroe, and another cool spot, 35 in Baraboo, with just an isolated chance of a shower or maybe a wet snowflake. Highs on Saturday in the 40s, cloudy skies, a isolated shower can't be ruled out as well on Saturday afternoon. And the football forecast really similar to the trick-or-treat forecast. Kickoff 44, halftime at 43, at the end of the game 42 here. A bit on the chilly side with cloudy skies. Here's our 10-day forecast, largely dry. Unfortunately, we need those raindrops. Now, don't forget to turn back time here, turn back the clocks. And you can play the Cher song too if you want to as well. We also have the Packers game forecast. Then I'll try to get my graphics to move here again. There we go. 45 at kickoff at Lambeau at noon. Halftime at 48 at the end of the game. They'll reach their high temperature right around 50. Increasing wind though, so you're going to want to bring your green and or your gold jacket and stocking cap.
And now I have Cher in my head for the rest of the day.
There you go.
Thanks, Alex.
Yep.
Well, it is rivalry week on the ice for the Badger men and women, and tonight you can catch the defending national champion Wisconsin women's hockey team playing Minnesota on our sister channel. That's Television Wisconsin. The top-ranked Badgers enter the game undefeated. Third-ranked Minnesota comes in with a 9-1 record. The Badgers will seek their 11th straight win in the border battle. Puck drop is scheduled for 6 p.m. at LeBron Arena. Again, that is channel 3.2. Up next on this Halloween, Howard's working on some treats in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
We've got a great way to use up all that leftover Halloween candy, so don't go anywhere. Happy Halloween. Is this a fun holiday or what? We get dressed up, oh, all right, at least some of us do, and people give us candy just for ringing their doorbell. What's not to love? And whether you're the ones handing out the candy or the ones trick-or-treating, by the end of the night, there always seems to be a ton of candy tempting us. So rather than just eating it piece by piece, like Kelly does, I have a dessert recipe that uses it up and that will earn you rave reviews. We start by baking some brownies according to the package directions. And while they cool, we combine a package of instant vanilla pudding with some milk. Then we add in some peanut butter and mix it until it's smooth, and into the fridge it goes to thicken up. Now comes the fun part, building our trifle. We start with a layer of brownies that we've cut up and spoon about half of the pudding mixture over that. On top of that goes a layer of candy bars that we coarsely chopped up, and then some whipped topping. We repeat the layers and decorate the top with even more candy. Once it's chilled, it's ready to serve. Imagine bringing this to work or to a potluck and having everyone dig in. I hope you'll go online and get the recipe for our candy bar brownie trifle as a way to share some of your leftover Halloween candy. I'm Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we're looking for a different way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
We're excited to let you know of some menu items we're adding to the noon news starting Monday. As Madison's food scene grows rapidly, we're going to focus more on local and Wisconsin favorites. We'll also draw from Madison Magazine's rich food content and recipes. Our goal in this to be your go-to resource and keep you connected to the regional food culture. Just go to channel3000.com to look at all of our food and recipe features right now. We've created a special section just for you. And now here's the chief with a final check of your first warned weather. Hi, Alex.
Hey there. Final check of the spooky forecast. 50 at 4 o'clock, 47. Feeling chilly at 6 o'clock. Maybe a sprinkle, maybe a shower as we head towards 8 o'clock in the evening. So all in all, a pretty good Halloween forecast for those trick-or-treaters. Nothing like last year where we had wind chills in the 20s and breezy conditions. Nothing like that in our forecast either. But you will want to tune in at 4. We'll track some of those showers that we're expecting Sunday night. And will it impact the Packer game on Sunday? We'll let you know.
All right, Alex. Thank you. Thanks for watching. Happy Halloween, folks. Stay safe. We'll see you back here Monday.